Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? You know, Teofimo Lopez is one of those type of people that desperately seeks attention, and he's getting it now, but for all the wrong reasons. With that being said, before I get into this extremely bizarre interview that Teofimo did immediately following his controversial win over Ortiz, I want to talk about what happened, what took place right before that. So right after they announced Teofimo Lopez as the winner, he reacted by breaking out into tears, as if this was the biggest win of his career. As if he just beat Terrence Crawford or Devin Haney. So as he's crying, he turns around and he reaches out to hug someone. Now, I thought he was reaching out to hug his father. It turns out he was reaching out to hug the WBO president after being awarded a very controversial decision. It just comes off as a slight conflict of interest when you think of all of the corruption in the sport of boxing. Okay, now with that all being surmised, let's go ahead and get into this interview.
Your emotional reaction.
Hold up, man. Hey, people, humans, listen up, man. Listen up. Yeah, y'all could boo all you want. Suck no homo. Listen.
Now, Teo just told a pro Teofimo Lopez crowd to suck a D for some of the boos that he heard. But the craziest thing is after he said that, the crowd got quiet and they stopped booing, which is something you never see in the sport of boxing. Whenever a fighter is doing a post-fight interview and he reacts to the boos, the fans usually boo even more. This shows you the loyalty that these fans had towards Lopez, because we know somebody like Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, Terrence Crawford, or anyone else on a coincidental list, they wouldn't even have to go so far as to saying, suck a D. And these same fans would have booed them throughout the entire interview. We know what time it is. We've seen it many times before. So this is how he starts off the interview. But it gets way more crazier than that. And I'm gonna break this down and I'm gonna explain what his objective was, what his goal was when he was doing this interview, or at least when he started going all over the place in his interview.
I know, relax. Let me go back on this, okay? We cannot, for 1 second, let me speak. We cannot for 1 second claim these people, these fighters that don't want to come and fight. You go to blood, sweat, and tears, the 3 Code of Conduct Sugar Ray Robinson Award. If you ain't ready for this life, get out of my sport. I am a champion. I bleed for this. I sweat for this, and I cry for this every time. Jesus is real. And all I can say, may God giveth, God taketh. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Teo, this is not the first time that you're faced against a guy who doesn't want to engage. The same thing happened with Sandro Martin.
Oh, you could engage.
How is it that you weren't able to cut off the ring? What could you have done better tonight to get him to engage?
I had to get 2 guys so they could jump him. Because honestly, I got to fly to get these guys. That's crazy, man. Hey, listen. I tried my best to do what I can for the people. I even tried to box going backwards, and they did not want to commit. To show you people, listen to me. I only believe in one race, the human race. The human race. From Rosa Parks, she says it best. The only race I believe in is the human race. And that's what everything matters today. I don't believe in all religion. I believe in God, the one and almighty. Please let us come together as a unit. In 2600 BC, when they made the pyramids, they said it, united we stand, divided we fall.
Okay, so you asked the question, why is Teofimo Lopez talking about pyramids and Rosa Parks when the question was, how come you still haven't adjusted from the Sandor Martin fight? How come you wasn't able to cut off the ring? What could you have done better? And he starts to respond to this question, but then all of a sudden out of nowhere, once again, starts to talk about Rosa Parks, starts to talk about pyramids and everything else. Every time I listen to a Teofimo Lopez interview, he reminds me of the people you see on a public bus. For anybody that's ever been on a public bus before, you've seen those characters that just sit there, talk about everything. They go to one subject to another for no rhyme or reason. That reminds me of Teofimo Lopez. So once again, why is Teofimo talking about Rosa Parks, pyramids, and there's only one race, the human race? Well, guys, this is his way of doing damage control. From when he came out and he said they can keep the black fighters, referring to the black fighters that fight on ESPN. You know, Bruce Carrington, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, and Devin Haney at the time when he said it. Teo didn't say they can keep the white fighters. He didn't say they can keep the Latino fighters. He specifically only said they can keep the black fighters. And this is my last fight on ESPN. I'm leaving ESPN. In other words, he was saying either they go or I go. Teo received a lot of backlash for saying this. So apparently there's no better way to say I'm sorry, like saying I love Rosa Parks. He literally actually said that in another interview that he did. Oh, but in that interview, he poured it on even thicker than that. He started talking about why he respected Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I am not making this up. So Teofimo Lopez has been on this I'm not racist, I like black people tour for quite some time now. I mean, but if you're going to come out with a fake apology, why didn't he just come out and just retract what he said in the first place? Why didn't he apologize for what he said? I mean, it would still be a fake apology, but that would be the best fake apology. Just flat out admit you were wrong for saying they can keep the black fighters. It was something you wish you never said, etc., etc. But when you start talking about how you idolize or you respect Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you love Rosa Parks, etc., etc., it makes no sense because Teofimo Lopez has never, a day in his life as a pro, empathized with any of the racial double standards that black people deal with in the sport today, or even outside of the sport. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they were known for fighting against racism. So for him to talk about how he respects them and looks up to them as an apology, it comes off as extremely disingenuous. So if you're not going to talk about the racial standards that exist today, then what is the point of bringing up Malcolm X and Martin Luther King?
All right, this was a race, but he was running a race and you were chasing after him. You only threw 12 jabs yourself, Teo. Could that have helped? What could you have done differently, man? It's like, it's a repeat.
It's not a repeat because I still got it.
I know you do.
Okay, so it's not a repeat. Don't tell me this is a Sandor Martin part 2.
The reporter just told Teofimo Lopez something that was really hard for him to swallow, which was that was a repeat of the Sandor and Martin fight. But I disagree. It wasn't a repeat of the Sandor and Martin fight because Teo looked worse. He looked more vulnerable in this fight. Teofimo is so used to being spoiled by old media. He's so used to them trying to protect him, constantly asking softball questions to try to defend Teo. But when he puts on a performance like that, he makes some of the most loyal old media members even come out and speak a little bit of truth. And that's exactly what happened in this interview. And Teo, he didn't like it one bit.
Yo, you telling me, let's work, coach. Listen to me. I do this. Anybody want to step in the ring? Let's get it on. I am champion. I am king. And the king stays king. I'm in it for everybody and anybody. Go ahead, you can run. The people can boo. You know why? Because Satan lost tonight.
Now, when you talk about what happened tonight and the future, you came in here thinking about Bud, and you also saw Keyshawn Davis coming after you. So what's next for you?
You know what's next for me? Glory. Glory. That's what's next for me. None of these guys want to fight me. I'll fight Crawford at a catchweight. What's up then? I'm here. I'm ready. Always been ready. I'm hungry. I'm younger. I'm prettier. And, shoot, 2-time first male undisputed world champion at 25.
Now, Keyshawn has no problem going up to fight you, just like you'd have no problem going up. Is that a possible fight?
Come on, we're talking about a lightweight. We're talking about a lightweight over here. He hasn't done anything, just like Vasily Lomachenko told me. If you want to fight me, you got to get a title. Get a world title. If you want to fight the king, go ahead, get the world title. I'm not going to give it to you guys for what? You guys want it easy.
This just goes to show you guys how cornered Teofimo Lopez is right now. If you guys notice, when they asked him about fighting Keyshawn Davis, he said, if you want to fight me, you got to get a belt first. But Devin Haney has a belt, and he doesn't want to fight Devin Haney. So he's running out of excuses for why he doesn't want to fight any of these guys.
Everybody want it easy. Hey, the only thing easy here is my skills.
All right, Teofimo, thank you.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.